Am I overreacting for thinking a couple, that I don't know so well, is extremely weird for naming their first child after my little sister? Sorry if this is a bit long or confusing, this is my first ever Reddit post. So I, 19 female, am Desi Brown. My family tends to get invited to quite a lot of events, birthdays, wedding events, graduations, etc., consisting of other Brown families. There's this one particular really big family that we rarely see because we're less popular and get invited less. But when we were younger, we went to more events, so we'd see this family from time to time. When my little sister was around the age of maybe 5, a guy, we'll call him Chris in that family, who was at the time around 23, maybe older, started hanging out with her. At first, we didn't care much. We thought it was cute because he thought she was cute. He'd usually just talk to her, pick her up, occasionally take some selfies with her, tickle her, and generally just make her laugh. She seemed happy, so we thought nothing of it. Then things started taking a turn. My sister started avoiding Chris at events, only staying at my mom's side. But that didn't stop Chris from trying to hang out with her. Mind you, he had plenty of people to hang out with. He was in no way lonely. Chris had a whole group of friends and cousins he would sit and hang with. But when my sister started avoiding him, he'd come up to her and ask if she wanted to come with him to sit at his table. She would refuse, and he'd keep asking. It got to the point where she'd walk past him and Chris would beg for a selfie, or beg for her to come sit with him. Then it got to a point where he started putting his hands on her, forcing her to take selfies, tickling while she was trying to get away, even sneaking up on her and poking, tickling her. At the time, I was pretty young and thought pedos didn't look or act like that, but soon it weirded me out that he thought she was so cute and always wanted to make her laugh, but would always make her cry, then be smiling and laughing with his cousins about it. We started avoiding him and most of his direct family altogether. Although not fully, because we didn't want to start drama, and if you know Brown people, you know they love drama. We don't want to be in it, though. Also, yes, the whole family, because for some reason my family, especially me and my sister, were the only ones that didn't find this so wildly weird. His mother loved my little sister. I mean, as a toddler, she was adorable, but she thought there was nothing wrong with what her son was doing. But not just her, his 2 sisters, one my age and the other in very close age to him, also thought it was adorable. My sister grew to be terrified for him, scared that she might see him at an event again. We started never leaving her side and always keeping an eye out. One day, my older sister made a friend at one of these events. This girl, let's call her Mandy, was prob 16, and we found out despite having super strict parents, she had done a lot, if you know what I mean. Her family was crazy, but that's another story for another time. But turns out her and Chris had a thing. Yes, Mandy, the 16YO, and Chris, the 23YO. He would come over to meet up with her, but her mom put cameras at the front door so he would park a block away, then climb through her window to bang. He had her convinced they would get married and he'd get her away from her abusive family. Obviously, he didn't. But flash forward to now, he's now in his 30s, I think, and married. My little sister is now 14. They had a daughter not too long ago and named her after my sister. His wife told my sister that, "We named her after you. My husband loves you. He's obsessed." Me and my sister think his wife could be just as weird as him. She sees nothing wrong with this. Also, when they first got married, she introduced herself to my sister and said, "OMG, I know so much about you. My husband never stops talking about you. He loves you." Am I overreacting, or do you guys also think this is super weird? Update. Hey guys, sorry I took a bit long. Just got busy with work and packing for a trip. So I talked to my sister and showed her this post as well. First of all, thank you guys for all the support. She was so happy to see so many people that understood her feelings. She had so much fun reading all the comments. I asked her if Chris ever did anything like touch her or anything like that, and she said no. So I asked what changed her opinion on Chris like so dramatically. She said she just would get bored of him and would want to leave, and he would want her too. And soon that started really scaring her. She said that he would say things like, "I'm gonna eat you up," but he would also say things like, "I'm gonna steal you," or "take you away all for myself," rough translation from our second language. But thankfully, he had never touched her. She also told me some things that had happened when she was around the age of 12. At this point in time, my sister had her own little friend group that she wanted to hang out with at these events, which is why I didn't hear about or see any of this happening. So one time she was just standing with her friend group in the line for food, and Chris came up behind her, without her noticing, and she said she heard him sniffing her EW. She only saw him when she turned around after hearing him, and he was already walking away. This other story is about Chris's wife. At another one of these events, when my sister was again around 12, Chris's wife comes up to my sister and tells her to come with her, it's important. So my sister, not wanting to be rude, follows her and sees that she's walking her to his table with him and all his friends and family. She immediately turns around and his wife desperately tries to convince her to come back. It's really important. He misses you. Thankfully, she didn't go. Thankfully, we haven't been invited to many events lately, but 2 of the most recent and big ones, the ones we usually see them at, were women's only. Surprisingly, she didn't show much interest to my sister. Maybe because my sister seems a bit too old and mature for their taste now, or maybe she's finally come to her senses. I doubt it though, because if she really did, she wouldn't still be with this pedo. Again, thank you guys for the support. My sister loves y'all for insulting him. I'll update if anything ever happens in the future. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.